to Going for Two. I am Ian Nickel. Hope you're doing well. Parker isn't here. Parker is sick. He is taking the week off to rest, and I'm going to miss him because this podcast is significantly better with him than without him. So it's just me today. We are riding solo. If you are watching on YouTube, I'm in my parents' shop right now. I came back home. I'm celebrating my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Noah. So that's why I'm here. And I'm in here specifically because the office that I'm normally in is right next to the living room, and they're all watching a movie. So I stepped out here to the shop. So if it sounds a little echoey, it shouldn't because I have the mic, but if it does, I apologize. If it sounds a little off. But, today, there's a lot to talk about. A lot of fun things to talk about. Got to talk about the Thunder. Got to talk about hockey. I think that's it. And then maybe a little bit about Ted Turner passing away. I'll probably save that for the end. And then the Vrabel-Rossini situation just gets a whole lot worse because apparently they bought a boat. They rented a boat together in 2021. So it is just getting worse and worse for Vrabel and Rossini in that regard. But let's go ahead. And talk about the Thunder. They won Game 1 against the Lakers, 108-90 in what was probably a below-average game for Thunder standards, and they still won by 18. So that kind of just tells you how good this Thunder team is in that regard, that they can just, go out there, have a C-plus game. SGA only scores 18, also only has three free throws, and people are still complaining that he's a free throw merchant. It's never about the victory. It's never about, beating the Lakers by 18. It's never about that. It is about how many free throws SGA gets. It's stupid. We do the freaking rat race so much. It's so pointless, and I'm so tired of it. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. I just want to talk about how good the Thunder have been. Chet was great. I think he had like 20. I think he may have had a double-double. Jared McCain made some great shots. Miss J-Dub had a nice, had a nice jacket. LeBron's really good still. I think he had 30 in that game. But honestly, like Austin Reeves didn't look that hot. Aiden did okay. They were able to contain everybody else. And if LeBron goes off on it, though, he's going to get his. He's always going to get his. So I'm not worried about that as much. You just have to kind of contain everybody else, and that's a big key for that series. Like, is Austin Reeves going to go 3 of 16? No, he's not going to do that every time. But I think Marcus Smart's going to do that hot every time. And honestly, like you're gonna if you're gonna beat them, you got to shut down the role players, and that's what they do. Their defense is suffocating. I think in the last series against the Rockets, I think the last game they scored 97. It was like 97-78, and they disposed of the Rockets. There's like a little dust right there, so I'm gonna clean that real quick. Gonna edit that out. But yeah, the series is gonna go to the Thunder, barring anything. There is a path where I could see the Lakers taking one on the road. The role players get hot, but if Luka still isn't going to play, the Lakers have no chance without Luka. They barely have a chance with Luka, but they have zero chance without Luka. Because he's a good offensive player. They need him to score. He's their number one option. Even though LeBron may say otherwise. But yeah, I don't think the Thunder should have a problem in this series. I think they should be cruising very easily. They play again tonight. That's on Prime, and then games 3 and 4 are Saturday and Monday. I don't want to say it'll be a sweep. I think it'll probably be be 3-1 because you got to figure LeBron's going to pull something out. But if it goes to 6, I would be very surprised. That'd be like if Luka came back or something, which he's not ready. He hasn't been doing any of the activities or anything. He has not been running. He hasn't been doing anything. So, and also, like, is Jada going to come back? I think we're thinking game 2, game 3, per my sources, which is just me guessing. But they may not need J-Dub for this series at all. So we'll see. I think it'll be very interesting. And let's talk about the rest of the NBA. There were 2 3-1 leads blown. The Celtics and the Magic. And the Magic have already fired their coach. And I think it's crazy to think that no less than, it was 23 years ago, 2003, the same thing happened with the Pistons and the Magic. And look at Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is unbelievable. And him and Paolo, they had a great duel with each other. It was a great series, and I hope we get to see that series again. But Orlando fired their coach because of it. I think Orlando fans were wanting him out of there. So it'll be interesting. They're looking at Tom Thibodeau, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a good coach. Took the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals, but the Knicks might make the Eastern Conference Finals with Mike Brown. And Mike Brown got screwed out of Sacramento, and look where Sacramento's at now. So I think that tells you all you need to know. The Spurs just tied. I'll skip that real quick. But yeah, then the Celtics. The Celtics lose 3-1. They blow a 3-1 lead to the 76ers. I cannot tell you how surprised I am. Joel Embiid played great throughout the playoffs. And Maxey was so good. And the 76ers kind of willed their way in that one. And it also didn't help that Jason Tatum was out for Game 7, which I was really surprised that he decided to do that. And then you have Jaylen Brown going on Twitch no less than 24 hours later and complaining about flopping from Joel Embiid. And then there's like a video of Jaylen Brown flopping, which, can we just... Everybody flops, okay? Like, that's just in the game. Everybody flops. You want to get rid of it, stop calling fouls, and then I'm pretty sure people will stop flopping. So that's how you get rid of flopping. You just stop it. You just stop it completely. They may still flop. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm sick and tired of talking about flopping. Like, just quit it. Just quit it, guys. And then the Knicks ended up winning today. Today. They're up 2-0. Joel was out for Game 2. So they're going to go back to Philadelphia. And I think they have to win both. They have to win both games, get the series tied 2-2. Because if you go up 3-1, like, that's not... Lightning is not striking twice, unfortunately, for the 76ers. You have to beat them twice, and you need Embiid healthy. So that's how you get that done there. But I think the Knicks will be fine. And then Pistons, Cavs. Also, shout out the Cavs and Raptors for having, like, the quietest 7-game series of all time. Very evenly matched until Game 7 when the Cavs won by a pretty significant margin. But R.J. Barrett nearly saved their season. Had the three-pointer that went up and over, hit the iron, went up in the air. Very similar to Tyrese Halliburton. So another great shot out of R.J. Barrett. Couldn't get it done. Raptors are a great team. I think Ingram got hurt a little bit, but the Raptors were very surprising this year. They have some great pieces. They did lose, I think, their president of basketball operations. Mazzario Genie, I think his name is, and he's going to the Mavericks, which he's not making that Luka trade. So Mavericks got a smart basketball mind in their office to replace Nico Harrison, which Great move by the Mavericks. You can't fault them for that at all. I mean, that's the best move you can make other than Presti. Presti's like one, and then like there's a gap. So there's a dog barking. I don't know if anybody heard that. Um, but yeah, and then the Anthony Edwards came back. He's supposed to be out for a couple weeks. I think he was supposed to miss a good majority of this series. Like if he was going to be back, he's supposed to be back for the conference finals. But instead, surprise, Anthony Edwards is like, you know what, I'm going to play. And they end up winning game one. Now, they did get blown out game two, but they go back to Minnesota. They stole home court. And now you're kind of playing with house money a little bit. You lost Steven Chinza, but you still have Julius Randle. You still have Rudy Gobert, who's been playing great. We give Rudy Gobert a lot of crap for the past few years, but he's really stepped it up in this playoffs, playing with Jokic, playing against Wembanyama. They did lose tonight, but I think you have to give a lot of credit to the Timberwolves. And part of me thinks that the Timberwolves they could very well win this series because of the playoff experience that they have. They've made the conference finals 2 straight years in a row, and the Spurs haven't really done that yet. So if there's a team, this feels like the 2024 Thunder against the Dallas Mavericks with Luka and Kyrie. Like, they had playoff experience, they just weren't there yet. And that's how it kind of feels with the Spurs right now. Like, they're going to be good. They're going to be good for a long time. This may just not be their time yet. And it's either that or the run of the Thunder, and who knows after that, because that's a whole new series. So it is going to be very interesting to see how that series plays out. It is one of the, I think all the series are interesting. You have the Cavs, you have the Pistons. The Pistons are kind of in a similar boat, but the Cavs have not reached that hump with Donovan Mitchell, and they're hoping James Harden can help out. So but the thing is, I think the Pistons win that series. They already won game one. They play game two tomorrow night. That is going to be, if the Cavs, it feels like if the Cavs like snowball. So like if they win game two, I feel like they probably won't win the series. They got to go back and forth, it feels like. Although they have not won on the road at all. So maybe they lose game two and they just win the next two on the road in Cleveland. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's gonna be a great series. The basketball's getting good, but I think, you know what? I think the hockey has been a lot better. The hockey has been so good. Tampa Bay Lightning get upset by the Montreal Canadiens, and yeah, they get the job done there, and they take on Buffalo. Montreal does, and Buffalo I think won tonight, 4-2. Anaheim just evened up the series with Vegas. They won 3-1 just now. That's a very intriguing series to me. Vegas and Anaheim, both of those teams had great series against the Mammoth and the Edmonton Oilers, respectively. I think we're going to see a lot of points scored in that one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very fast-paced. Then you have on the other side of the Western Conference bracket, you got the Colorado Avalanche, who have been dominant, taking on the Minnesota Wild. They had a great game one where it was 6-9, which is absolutely insane for a hockey game. And then I think the Avs won 4-2. So they're undefeated in the postseason. And it looks like they'll probably cruise to the Western Conference Finals. They have not lost a playoff game just yet. They won the President's Cup, so obviously you got to keep in mind the President's Cup curse. But they look really good right now, and it doesn't look like anybody's going to stop them anytime soon. Speaking of another team that looks pretty unstoppable, Carolina Hurricanes look amazing. They just swept. They swept their opponent, the Ottawa Senators, and now they're taking on the Flyers. They are up 2-0 now, going to Philly. Going to try to close that out. They're undefeated in the playoffs as well, and they've been so good. They have really impressed me thus far. I know Philly upset Pittsburgh and that was kind of a shocker. But I will say I did call it. I did call it. I think I said either on a text to Parker or I said it on the podcast at some point that I think the Flyers are going to beat the Penguins because they are a younger team. Now, this no, excuse me, Hurricanes team is so good. And I wonder how they're going to do in Philly. Those games intrigue me a lot. The Philly, um, the madhouse that is, how Carolina's going to react to that. Will they end up losing a playoff game for the first time this year? I don't know. They've been the bridesmaid and never the bride. It could be a good year for them to get to the Stanley Cup. They take on Colorado though. It's going to be tough to beat Colorado. I know you have the President's Cup curse, but it's also just like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else to talk about. This is going to be a short podcast. This is going to be a shorter podcast, just because we can't riff. I can't riff by myself. I miss my buddy. I miss Parker. Um, he is sick. In case you accidentally fast forward, Parker is sick and he is not here. Um, Normally we do a Zoom. I am in the shop right now. I'm in my parents' shop recording. So yeah, this is where we are in the big 2026 live from the shop in here. I'm trying to avoid spiders. Um, oh yeah, another thing that happened: Live Golf shutting down. Holy crap! I remember saying when Live Golf started that it could be the WCW of golf, and they're taking on the PGA Tour, which is the WWE of golf. And it turned out just to be the TNA of golf. Which what I mean by that, because TNA is still around. If you're a wrestling fan, you know that TNA is still around. In 2010, TNA tried to go to Mondays to fight Monday Night Raw to beat them in the ratings. Because at the time, they were taken over by Eric Bischoff, who was in charge of WCW and was working on that and beat them for 83 weeks. It lasted 13 weeks before they had to say, nope, we're moving back to Thursday nights, where they were more successful. That's kind of what happened with Live Golf. Very short-lived. The Saudis have backed out, which I thought was a little surprising. I thought they'd keep on going, but I guess they think that it was not worth the money, not worth the hassle. Just as Oklahoma was getting a team, I forget the name of it, but Taylor Gooch, Oklahoma State alum, was in that was the team captain. So now he's gone. John Rahm is going to the DP tour, and he's going to try to get exceptions and all that, because the PGA Championship's next week. I think he's in it. I'm not sure. Or I guess Bryson DeChambeau's going to YouTube golf, so I guess we'll get more videos out of him. So that's fun. But Live Golf is toast, and there's maybe not a lot of golfers now, but a lot of fringe golfers that kind of sitting around and looking, going, oh no, oh no. So it's going to be interesting to see how. I mean, they're going to have to do everything, get their tour cards back, or there may just be a lot of people going to the DP tour. Who knows? It's going to be very, very tough for a lot of those golfers. I think Rahm will be fine. I think DeChambeau will be fine. Everybody else, I think, is in big trouble, and I think they know that, obviously. So there's no point in repeating that. But yeah, just incredibly tough. I can't wait to talk about the PGA Tour. We'll talk about that with Parker next week. Let's also talk about Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. The situation just gets worse. All signs point to that they have been having a 6-year affair and have not been caught. There are reports that came out today that they rented a boat together in 2021 when Vrabel was a coach in Tennessee. Uh-oh. And that while she was very pregnant, they were on this boat together, I guess doing the Titanic or whatever. like on the boat or whatever, King of the World. I haven't watched the movie yet. It's one of my girlfriend's favorite movies. I need to watch that with her. We've been waiting for the right time to watch it. I don't know. Just needs to come up, but that's one of her favorite movies. Near and far, wherever you are. Yeah, and we just lost all of our viewership because of that. Um, I don't know if it's going to get to the point where Vrabel is going to have to quit because this doesn't necessarily affect his job or his job performance. It affects Rossini's a whole lot because that's the source. It's just not. It's not a good look. So obviously she has had to quit, and I don't think she's going to get a job for a while. She may. She might have to move to Italy or something. I don't know, but I don't think she's going to get a job in the U.S. for quite a while. Um, and that's the actions to the consequences there. That's the consequences to the actions. Excuse me. Um, but I guess Vrabel's going to be okay. You got a standing ovation at a season ticket event, which is wild. I don't know, and it's not. It's not. It. I don't want to It's not a double standard. It's not. It's just one's a journalist, one's a football head coach. Like you're gonna get his wife's probably to kill him, Vrabel's wife, but I don't. I don't think you're gonna get fired for an affair as Patriots head coach. That doesn't affect your football performance at all. Now, if it was with like a member of the Patriots staff, then yeah, he's probably getting fired. And if it causes a disruption, I don't think this caused a disruption considering it's been going on for 6 years. So we move on. Let me see what else we got. I think it's just Ted Turner. Ted Turner passed away at the age of 87. I'm wearing my WCW Thunder shirt. Let me try to back out so the YouTube viewers can see it. I think I've worn it a lot on the podcast, but yeah, it's this shirt right here. WCW Thunder, one of the shows on the former Superstation TBS, but he created TBS, TNT, CNN, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, like all of it was under the Turner umbrella. Turner Classic Movies, about the Braves, about the Hawks. Um, he is Atlanta, and I think people they're not now, but I think in retrospect, like he did a lot for Atlanta. Like he was a big part of getting the Olympics to Atlanta in '96. And just making it kind of a big part of what it is today because CNN's headquartered there, TNT's headquartered there. You don't get inside the NBA without TNT. You don't get kind of the MLB on TBS. You don't get that without them covering the Braves games for 30 years. WCW made so much of an impact more than you realize. Because it would have just been WWE if there was no WCW. Because they killed like nearly all the territories the WWE did. I know I'm talking about. Which I could talk about Backlash. We can talk about Backlash here in a little bit. And kind of the WWE releases. Because Parker's not a big wrestling guy, but I am. So I may sneak that in there. I may sneak that in there in this episode. So I may also talk about that shortly. But Ted Turner did a lot for sports and for sports broadcasting. And as somebody that's in that realm, you're probably looking at a big hole if Ted Turner's not around. I mean, you're not getting inside the NBA without TNT. You're not getting. I mean, the NWO, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, like that was on TNT. Booker T, Goldberg, all of that. A lot of the like pop culture and everything. I know there's Stone Cold Steve Austin. I know there's The Rock. But there's also a lot going on WCW. And I mean, that's where Steve Austin, that's where he wrestled. You had Sting, you had Brian Pillman, you had all these guys. Ric Flair. Ric Flair was the biggest WCW guy. Scott Steiner, we just had the celebration of Steiner Math. If he's not in WCW, he doesn't go to TNA, and who knows where he is. But yeah, I mean, in TBS, they do a lot. I mean, they had Conan on for his last 11 years as a late night host. TNT has some good stuff on there, and CNN, like they're the first. It changed the game of news, 24-hour news. Nobody had ever done that before Ted Turner. So from just a media landscape, he did so much, and I mean we have a lot. I mean we have a lot to thank him for. So rest in peace to Ted Turner. Um, age of 87. You done did good, buddy. You done did good, and you probably didn't need to hear that from me. Everyone told you about that. He did. Now I will say he did what I would personally do as a billionaire, which is just buy broadcasting networks, buy wrestling, buy baseball. Because I mean, the Braves are kind of like America's team because they were. We talked about the Cubs being on WGN. The Braves were on TBS, so they were doing the same thing as the Cubs, and a lot of people are Braves fans because of that. And when you look at the Braves' impact, like there is no team from like Virginia through Kentucky, Arkansas, Louisiana, like that whole territory, and like maybe a little bit of Florida, the panhandle of Florida probably, is all Braves. That's all Braves territory basically, because that's how much of an impact they had on the South. And obviously the MLB may go there, but that's a lot of Braves country right there. North Carolina, where Charlotte could have a team, Nashville could have a team, New Orleans could have a team, although they may be more toward Houston. But a lot of that area is Braves territory. So, I mean, everyone when talks about the Yankees and the Cubs and the Dodgers as like, where all the like having the most fans or whatever. Like the Braves deserve like a knock in that area too. So, um, let's talk about WWE. Let's talk about Backlash. That's coming up. 5 matches. And then they released a bunch of people. It's bad. It's bad. Um, it feels like it's all messed up. Everyone wants to blame TKO, and they probably should. It doesn't. It's more about the money to them and not the wrestling, and you need to restore the feeling, and you know, get get the blood flowing again. Make people excited about wrestling because that run where Triple H took over from SummerSlam 22 to WrestleMania 40, maybe a little bit beyond that. I mean, it was popping, and now it's just kind of it's 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 a little tough. Now that being said, there's been a lot worse eras of wrestling, and not every story may not be your favorite, but you know what? It's okay to laugh. It's comedy wrestling is okay. Not everything needs to be serious all the time. Sometimes you need a Danhausen. Sometimes you need, Sami Zayn beating up a gingerbread man. Like I don't know. I thought that was funny. I like the concept of having a gingerbread man and there being a funeral for it. And you seen the Trick Williams meme where he just goes, it's like holding the doctor back. He's like looking up. He's like, oh no, gingerbread man is dead. I don't know. I think that's funny. But they're rematching um, for Backlash. And I think Trick's going to retain. I think it'd be let him have a really nice run. He's been killing it with Little Yachty. I think that's been fun. I have the Gingerbread Man diss track song he made for Mania stuck in my head. He's been amazing. He's been amazing, and I hope he keeps it up. Other thing, what's the other match? There's no Wi-Fi in here, so I can't really look. I know it's Roman and Fatu in the main event. Roman probably retains, although I have heard rumblings that he was supposed to be full time. Now he's not going to be full time. He's going to miss like all of June. Who knows, man? Who knows? He's in it. There was one match. There's like 2 matches on ESPN2. Sami Zayn is one of them. I forget the second. It may be Io Sky and Asuka. That's going to be a banger. They don't miss. They don't miss. So that's going to be great. Gosh, who else? Who else? I gotta double check. I don't have my extra phone on me. My news work phone. But it's gonna be an okay card. Who's Cody fighting? Is Cody fighting anybody? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know, guys. So the other 2 matches are Sami Zayn and not Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. That's gonna be a banner. That one's also gonna be on ESPN2, so I think it is. If that's even better then. And then you have Danhausen versus TBD, which I think is going to end up being Joe Hendry. Get that viral moment in there. Against The Miz and Kit Wilson. That match should be no more than 4 minutes. I'm not even going to lie to you. That should be a 4-minute match, which I hope means that there's going to be more time. I think you got to... I don't like the five match cards. I think you need about 7 or 8 to make a good match card. I think WWE does too few, and I think AEW does a little too much. But yeah, I need to get back in AEW. I need to watch that. I'll probably watch it tomorrow or something. I don't know. But that's it. That's it for this show. Park will be back next week, and it'll be much better and much longer. I think we're coming up at about 32 minutes on this recording, so I think that should be okay. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Follow me on Twitter, Ian Nickel, on Facebook and Twitter. I don't go on Facebook. Instagram and Twitter, excuse me. Parker Terrell is a Parker Terrell 2 on Twitter and Parker Troy 20 on Instagram. Going for 2 Pod IP is the official accounts for this podcast. We'll see you next week with another banger. Get well soon, Parker. God bless.